Hi. Hi guys! This is the fourth part of the series. Or the first part, really, if you're trying to get a job. So lastly, networking. I'm gonna jump right in. Hi, I'm Mia. I worked at a career center for 3 years. I like talking about this stuff. Some of you asked me to make videos about this, so I'm making it. Networking. There's a lot of ways you can network. I say start with the 2 F's. Family and friends. The first thing you want to do is talk to your family and friends. I think it's 100% okay to be like, hey, are there any positions open that you know of at your job? You work here, can you tell me how it is? Being on the other side of the hiring table, even though I wasn't hiring them personally, I learned a hiring manager or a boss would much rather be handed a few resumes that they know a person can attest to. They're busy. The last thing I'm going to do is look through a stack of 100 resumes. Also, I think the most underrated sources. Your professors are there for a reason. Your professors are your biggest resource. I said this in my college advice series. If you're in school still and you're watching this, I urge you 100% to find a few professors, especially in your major, who you would love, who you adore, who you admire. Build a relationship with them. They're gonna be your biggest fans and they're gonna be able to attest to you. And then if you're out of school, definitely say, do you know anybody? They will be willing to help you. It's not totally unheard of to be applying and not know anybody and get a job, but I think it's way easier to start with what you know. Start with what you have. That's just advice about life, right? Like, you want to start with what you have. So start there and then start just randomly applying. I did a Twitter thread that received mostly positive. The whole point of the thread was I was talking about utilizing your connections and how to make connections. I 100% gladly will talk to someone who asks. I'll email them, I'll hop on the phone with them. If they're in the area, I'll meet up with them in person. What I'm not gonna do though is straight up, if people have messaged me and been like, can you give me a job here? Or can you give me the email of your manager? And I hardly know you. Yeah, you wanna be able to attest for the person that you're helping. When I left working for the Wizards in the Capitals, in DC, there was this girl who went to JMU and she reached out to me on LinkedIn, which, again, I told you I'm a huge fan of LinkedIn, always use LinkedIn. I didn't know her at all. She's like, hey, I love the Caps, like I love what Monumental does. Your position sounds really cool. Can we talk about it? Can you like tell me a little bit about your position and working there? Yes, girl, let's hop on the phone. I hopped on the phone with her. She sounded excited, enthusiastic. We talked a little bit about her experiences. She wasn't overbearing. She just seemed genuinely excited. And those are the best people who want to learn, people who are curious, people who are enthusiastic. That's what employers look for. And I didn't know her, but I literally said to her, send me your resume, like let me see what I can do. And when I left, a position opened and I literally said to my supervisor, here's a resume of this girl. I've never met her, but I talked to her on the phone. She seems so enthusiastic about the work we're doing here. She seems to have really good experience and she seems professional. See what you can do. And they were like, yeah, she literally got an internship there. 100% willing to help people who take the time to talk to you and do more than just like, can you do the same for me? The number one thing you should be doing is building a genuine relationship with someone, like asking them about where they work, like ask them about their dreams, what they want to do with their lives, like who they are, like how they got to where they are, their journey, and share a little bit about you too. Don't be afraid to, share some things about what you want as well. But I think building a relationship is huge. Asking for favors is not. Not when you don't know a person, not off the bat. Requests for emails and phone calls. They want to help you, but also if they're getting 10 requests at once, they're not going to be able or maybe even want to answer everything. Be ahead of the game. If you know that in May you're graduating or if you know that in December you're graduating, start messaging people a little bit earlier than that so they aren't swamped with requests. Be upfront about your motives. If you're just like, hey, I want to talk, and at the end you're like, can I have a job? It's very off-putting. So I think be upfront because the other person may spend the entire conversation feeling skeptical. Be upfront about your motives. Focus on them during the conversation. Don't just be shamelessly like self-promoting. Letting the conversation flow again, being natural and like being interested in them. But then there is a connection you have there. Be like, oh yeah, I worked on something similar to that, and then tell your part of the story. But really focusing on asking questions and listening. Don't take up 100% of their time, but like say I have X amount of time, especially when you're asking strangers to meet, to have informationals with them, it makes them feel like not so trapped, Always send a thank you note. I'm a fan of notes, like personalized handwritten notes. They're memorable. This is how I do my thank you notes. I'll break it down for you as well here. I always open with thank you. Second, say something that you really liked about them. I usually say something genuinely that I thought about that person that was nice. So I'm like, I love how hardworking you are, or I'm very much about energy. So I'm like, I really appreciated your welcomeness. And then third, something you liked about the conversation. So like, I really enjoyed talking to you about this, or your point about this was so good. Something you learned from them. And then you just want to end again by saying thank you. Thank you notes are super simple. That's the format I always follow. That way you have a formula, but it's very specific and it's unique to each person. I think it's a lot about giving and getting, you know? Yeah, that's it. Also, I have some really exciting news. I am doing my first ever webinar. I'm so excited. I'm teaching how to start a YouTube channel, but I'm reframing the narrative of like how to break in and stand out, because it's so different now than it used to be. It's just, you know, a talk essentially with me and whoever joins, and I have like this whole like lesson. I have all the things I want to teach. I'm teaching you about how to connect with your audience, how to make content that genuinely matters to you and matters to the world. I'm really excited. It comes with a group specifically for people who take the webinar, so we can all kind of share our own videos and get advice and feedback. I made like different worksheets for everyone to like brainstorm like kind of what content they want to make, their brand, even though I hate calling it brand. I call it more of like your character, your purpose, your voice. Worksheet on planning your YouTube videos, how to plan them out, and all of that good stuff. If you want to sign up, the link is below. I would love to see you there. It'd be really fun if you started YouTube but you aren't really seeing the results you want, or you don't feel like you're really kind of making the content you want, or if you haven't started at all and you're too scared because you're like scared no one's gonna watch. People will watch. They will definitely watch. Join the webinar and we'll figure out how to get people watching your stuff. So I'm really excited. Thank you guys again for watching. I really hope this helped. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. I have a ton of acting videos coming out soon, and skits and vlogs and travel videos, which I'm excited about. Follow me on social media. Let's be pals. I love talking to you guys. I always respond to any comments you have. Thank you again for watching. I love you guys as always. I'm so happy you're here. And have a good day. Bye.